Being single isn't hard. What's hard is constantly being treated like something is missing, not because anyone says it out loud, but because it's always there, in the assumptions, the jokes, the quiet expectations, as if being single is a problem that eventually needs to be solved. Here's the reality. In the United States, about 1 in 4 adults at age 40 has never been married, and nearly 28% of households are made up of just one person. These aren't rare exceptions. They're not outliers. They're part of how modern life actually looks. So, if being single is becoming more common, why is it still treated like a mistake? The first misunderstanding is also the deepest one, that being single automatically means being lonely. But psychology research consistently shows something else. Loneliness isn't about being alone. It's about lacking meaningful connection. Some people are in relationships and still feel unseen, still feel unheard. And some people live alone, but have friendships, communities, routines, and an inner life that feels full. Being alone and being lonely are not the same thing. Another assumption sits quietly underneath everything, that if you're single, it must be because no one wanted you, that something about you wasn't attractive enough, stable enough, or ready enough. But many people aren't single because they lack options. They're single because they've learned, sometimes the hard way, that the wrong relationship can cost more than being alone ever could. For them, being single isn't avoidance, it's discernment. But here's where the conversation needs honesty. Not romantic slogans, not simple answers. Long-term studies suggest that people who remain single for life can experience lower life satisfaction in certain circumstances, not because they're single, but because of things that often come with it: weak social networks, financial instability, or lack of support as they age. In other words, being single isn't the problem. Being unsupported is, and that's an important difference. Some people fear being single because they fear loneliness. Others enter relationships because they fear being judged. And that's where the real tension lives. Not between single and partnered life, but between living honestly and living according to expectation. The real question isn't, should you stay single? It's this: are you choosing this life because it fits you, or because you're afraid to choose anything else? Choosing to be single is not running away from responsibility, but choosing to stay single long-term does require intention. It means building strong friendships, emotional resilience, financial stability, and a support system that doesn't depend on one person, not to prove anything to society, but to make your life sustainable in the long run. Being single is not a failure, but like any life path, it deserves reflection, not pressure. There isn't one correct way to live a meaningful life. Between quiet minds, where we slow down and look at human choices more honestly,